We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Senator Jones criticizes DeSantis' bill criminalizing public camping. Despite objections, the bill was signed and enforcement will start on October 1st.
Pandora Events organizes Girls in Wonderland, America's most famous lesbian music celebration, starting May 30th. The event features live DJs, pool parties, food, drinks, and did we mention girls?
A Malaysian paper faces backlash for publishing a guide to identify LGBTQ+ individuals. Homosexuality is illegal in this country, and such actions are sure to fuel discrimination. Wait till you hear how they find us.
The Miami Film Festival, April 5th through the 14th, 2024, showcases 12 LGBTQ+ themed films, invites stars like Heather Graham, and gives away $100,000 in cash prizes.
Jacqueline Lorber leads the South Florida Symphony Orchestra with dynamic leadership. She fosters community connections and innovative inclusivity. And guess who is an anchor this evening at Queer News Tonight?
Good evening. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand on smart televisions including Roku, Apple Television, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens unique in the LGBTQ+ news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ+ community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our queer culture, the Black community, Latino, lesbians, and queer women, trans, student youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ+ experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader community.
Let's meet tonight's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome Peter Bisuito. Bisuito. Sorry, Peter.
It's okay.
He is an entertainer for more than 35 years. He shines as an actor, writer, director, and more. His film, I Remember, attracted praise from across the world and earned him the honor of Peter Bisuito's Day, proclamation by Fort Lauderdale's Mayor Dean Tantelis. Currently, he's engaged in multiple projects, including a stand-up special and a revival of Ask a Naked Guy Crocheting. Peter, your comedy is coming to the stage this week to the Sunshine Cathedral Center for Performing Arts. And your new show, My Big Funny Peter, Telling It Like It Is, on April 4th. Tell me what's happening, Peter.
Well, it's a stand-up comedy show at the Sunshine Cathedral. Well, I haven't performed comedy in a very long time because I've been concentrating more on writing, producing, and directing over the past 5 or 6 years. So
this is a return to stage.
It is. It's a return to stage. The last time I performed comedy was at the Amaturo Theater. That was many years ago.
Oh, this is great. Well, check out Peter. Let's welcome Jacqueline Lorber. She is the CEO and president of South Florida Symphony Orchestra. Under her leadership, the Symphony has flourished and is now operating with a $2 million budget. Her leadership has transformed the Symphony image. Jacqueline, you lead the South Florida Symphony Orchestra, and I'm so excited that my beloved Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stones will be coming to life at Broward Center on April 5th and 6th. Tell me, what's happening, Jacqueline?
You and everyone else, the hottest ticket in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only a couple seats left. It's very exciting. We have Harry Potter. We have a Beatles program coming up. That's the Magical Mystery Tour. Both nights of Harry Potter are full, but there are just a few seats left. So grab them while you can. Very exciting times.
That's great.
Symphony.
That's really great. My family is all big Harry Potter fans. I mean, we still to this day, we'll get together and we'll sit on the couch and cuddle with each other and all watch, including my parents.
All dressed up? You have to come all dressed up.
My son dresses up. Let's welcome Alison Burgos. Alison, the force behind Pandora Events, has shaped the landscape of LGBTQ events with iconic gatherings like Girls in Wonderland and Aqua Girl. Alison, world-famous Pandora Events, kicks off Women's Weekend at Miami Beach Pride with Sin starring DJ Sammy Blayens at the Sylvester April 12th. Tell me, what's happening, Alison?
Lesbians. We're so excited. We've been involved with Miami Beach Pride since its inception. 15 years ago now, I think.
Wow.
And we're excited to be hosting multiple events that weekend, including our big signature women's party coming up just in a few weeks.
That's great. If Fay What was here, she's always saying where's the lesbians at? So this is great to see events here because it's always usually the boys, and so I'm loving seeing more lesbian events going on.
We come popping up here and there. Fay and I go way back.
Yeah, she talks about you all the time. So now let's welcome anchor Gregg Shapiro. Gregg's 9th book, Refrain and Light, was selected for the Poetry Mutual 10 Best Poetry Books of 2023. His entertainment coverage, including celebrity interviews, runs in a variety of print and online publications. Gregg, there is a special one-night-only screening of the documentary Indigo Girls. It's only life after all at Silver Spot Cinema at Coconut Creek and Lake Worth Playhouse, April 10th. Tell me, what's happening, Gregg?
Well, as I said in my review of the documentary, the filmmaker Alexandria Bombach's doc is the generous and celebratory film that the out musical duo and longtime activists rightfully deserve. Bursting with personal insights, interviews, and fabulous vintage and concert footage, fans old and new can finally experience the documentary for one night, just one night, April 10th, at the Silver Spot Cinema at Coconut Creek and Lake Worth Playhouse. For advance tickets, please visit indigogirls.oscilloscope.net.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be amazing.
Lesbians will be.
We'll be there.
That's all I heard.
Great movie. And of course, this is tonight's lead anchor, Dr. Edward Summers. He is the executive director of Pride Lines, Miami's LGBTQ+ community center. He served as a primary therapist and program director at Eye Care Treatment Center in West Palm Beach. He was also the founder and CEO of the New York-based nonprofit, The Thinkubator. Edward, Pride Lines is going to have a community open house at the new campus on Saturday, April 6th. Tell us what's happening.
Sure, but before I do that, today is a special day. It's my mom's birthday.
Yay.
So happy birthday, Mom, back in New York. I miss you, love you. And so wish you were here, but happy birthday, Mom. So yes, this Saturday, we're celebrating a community open house. Pride Lines just acquired a new space in Liberty City in February, and we've been doing a bunch of events, engaging the community and bringing back the community in to our spaces. And so this is an exciting opportunity to introduce our space to the local community around us in Liberty City and to tell them about our services that we offer to the community. So we're very excited. We're going to have a DJ, we're going to have a barbecue, we're going to have a lot of giveaways. We're going to be doing some testing for STIs and HIV. And we also have a partnership this Saturday with Out My Closet. Out My Closet will be giving away clothing in preparation of Pride. And so it's a very exciting opportunity to bring the community in, to just expose them to everything that we do for the community. So I'm very much looking forward to this. So we are the reporters for Queer News Tonight. And this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBT community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. First, this evening, let's queer up politics. Out Black Florida Senator Shevrin Jones takes on DeSantis again. This time, it's homelessness. After his unsuccessful 2024 presidential bid, Ron DeSantis now targets Florida's homeless population. However, State Senator Jones is not going to stand it. He has openly criticized DeSantis' unauthorized public camping and public sleeping bill, HB 1365, which criminalizes public camping. During the bill's signing ceremony in Miami Beach, DeSantis said, quote, "The lawlessness seen in progressive cities, spiraling encampments, open-air drug markets, and homeless people endangering themselves and others is totally preventable. Our action today is one of many steps we're taking to keep our cities clean and safe for everyone," end quote. Jones suggested attempting to outlaw an entire population is futile. History shows such measures fail. Jones, far from a dictator, highlighted this flaw during Florida's legislative debate. However, despite his objections, the bill was passed and signed into law by DeSantis and will be enforced starting October 1st. Beginning January 2025, residents, local businesses, and even the state attorney general are allowed to file lawsuits against cities and counties if they fail to clear homeless encampments once the law is enforced. Jones, Florida's first openly gay senator elected in 2020, has consistently opposed DeSantis' policies, notably advocating against the Don't Say Gay measures and supporting a recent settlement to ease restrictions on educators. You know, this story is pretty interesting. You know, Pride Lines is an organization that supports and works with individuals experiencing homelessness or housing insecure. I think one of our biggest challenge is we don't have enough for affordable housing, and we don't have enough shelters, quite frankly, to house homeless individuals. So we can enact this, but we're not really fixing the problem. So where are they going to go? You know, where are they going to set up? Are the next steps, are they going to set up in abandoned buildings? Right. So I think that, you know, the governor, you know, he lost his 2024 bid, so he's back attacking, you know, various members of our community. And I just think that he feels short here. He should have first figure out how to figure out the homelessness problem, how to create more affordable housing, how to create more funding for shelters before having a bill like this, where where are people going to go? And people tend to come here because of our climate, of course. And they tend to sleep on beaches because we have a great climate, and that's where.
Well,
you know,
remember when Ron DeSantis got all those Mexicans and put them on a bus and drove them to D.C. and just dropped them off on Kamala Harris's front lawn? I think we should get a bus, gather up all the homeless people, and bring them to Ron DeSantis' house. Just put them on his.
Look, I understand. I just think it's just a political game. I understand that as a community, having people unhomed in areas where we understand that many people who are unhomed are struggling with things like addiction, feels dangerous to our community. As a mother, you know, I don't want there areas of downtown South Fort Lauderdale and Miami that I don't want to bring my child to, and I want this to be a mecca. I want this to be a place where people travel and love and celebrate our community. But this isn't the right way to do it. Why isn't our energy being focused and working in the private sector and the public sector to solve the issues around people who are unhomed? Because we understand there are 5 issues why somebody ends up homeless. Whether it's a child, it's a mom who leaves an abusive house, or a woman that has left an abusive house. There are addiction issues.
Right.
Yes, there's a tremendous amount of you know, lack of housing, a lack of affordable housing, and that's where our energy and focus should be. These laws just don't even make any sense.
No, and I think we all knew that DeSantis, the emasculated sore loser in the white thigh-high go-go boots, was going to come back with a vengeance, and here's the proof. He's out for blood, and of course, he begins with a defenseless population. It's so typical of his bullying behavior.
Absolutely. And, you know, to Alison's point, you know, HUD in September 2023 announced that they awarded, in particular Miami and Dade County, a grant of $8.4 million to tackle homelessness issues. So instead of creating laws like this, why don't he put resources towards helping, you know, the homeless trust and other organizations deal with the core issues, the fundamental issues, versus just saying, all right, we can't have them set up here, so we're going to move them out.
Actually, the Symphony has a relationship for many, many years with the Alliance, the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, and they hosted one of the big meetings that we had, the mid-year meeting, where they put information about a particular person, and so that you would get to know them and meet them and talk about them, and then spearheaded bringing different leaders together. I would love to see a workshop where there was a regional focus, and perhaps there is that we're just not aware of, but being able to bring the different resources together, whether it's the Beacon Council with the Alliance, the private-public partnerships that exist in the 3 counties. But clearly, we really have to systematically work with it within the region to deal with it. And even when one takes a personal initiative like we did, bringing a young man into our home and trying to help him through the system, I can tell you, having done it, you were saying before that it takes a lot of work and you have to be really smart. It was months of knocking on doors of trying to help this person, only to finally get papers and have that person leave. So it's heartbreaking. It's you're personally investing your time, your energy, your heart, your resources, and you're just one person. We really need a whole system.
And that's, that's the same thing. I was talking about this earlier, whether we're talking about somebody who's elderly, whether we're talking about a child who has special needs, or whether we're talking about people in the homeless population. The bureaucracy and the systems that are in place today in local, state, and national government, it is so complicated. 100%. You're an intelligent person. I'm an intelligent person. I'm a health surrogate for my grandmother who's 98, and getting services, it is not easy. The calls, the red tape, the forms, they're like, oh, well, go to the website. I'm like, she's 98. If I wasn't here to do this, how was she going to do this?
Right.
I mean, I see that across the board. We have to find better systems to support the marginalized people and the people that need help and support in our community. There's got to be a better way to do it.
So DeSantis, reduce bureaucracy. So Peter, what's up next?
Next, let's queer up lesbian culture. Girls in Wonderland, one of the world's great lesbian and queer women parties, returns on May 30th. Amy Alonso, Alison Burgos, and Yessie Leon from the backbone of Pandora Events, which produces some of the most popular women's gatherings nationwide, including Girls in Wonderland. This year's Girls in Wonderland celebration will begin on May 30th and will go on until June 2nd at Orlando's Gay Disney Red Shirt Weekend. The celebration starts with the welcome happy hour on Tuesday, May 30th, featuring live music and free Bud Light on draft. Following this, the same day is Traffic Jam. Girls in Wonderland opening party features great live music at Cuba Libre nights on May 31st. Dive into the wet pool party for a refreshing splash. Enjoy discounted cocktails at the L Lounge happy hour while singing along to live music. Then get ready for laughter at the Out for Laughs comedy show and groove to live performances at Climax in Mango's Tropical Cafe Orlando. Continue the fun into the early hours of June 1st with after hours and afterglow parties. Experience the Queer Prohibition Party and Girls in Wonderland's signature dance party featuring guest DJs. Dance the night away at Girl the Party, the country's premier lesbian event. Round off the weekend on June 2nd with a Sunday Fun Day pool party and the Last Chance Party. All events are for ages 21 and over. Tickets and passes are available. Don't miss out on this epic celebration of love, music, and community. Further details will soon be announced on girlsinwonderland.com.
That was a handful.
That was a mouthful.
I'm exhausted besides having to actually produce that thing.
That
My
is where all
God.
the lesbians are, though.
That's where they're at, right?
They're all there. I saw them.
That's right.
We're excited about this year. It's our 24th year. My partners and I, it is a labor of love. More than anything else, we love creating a safe space for our community, especially for LGBTQ women who don't have as many places or the last, in fact, we actually just did, which has been very fun. We've done a set of pre-parties at the last remaining lesbian nights in lesbian bars around the country this year. And that's been super, super fun. We've done ticket giveaways and promotions. And it's going to be great. We're at a new gorgeous hotel. We're with Marriott again. We love working with Marriott. They've been incredibly supportive of our community. There's some entertainment that we've got to announce. We're very excited to be welcoming back Snow to Product, which is one of the preeminent out Mexican hip hop artists in the country. But she's a huge international star. She's got 3 million followers.
Wow.
We've got, people like Citizen Jane from South Florida and DJ Pat Pat and Rose Garcia from the L Word, and we've got Deb from Halcyon coming back, and Sammy Blends from New York. So we have a tremendous lineup. We've got the Lesbians and Burlesque show coming in from Orlando, who always keeps it sexy. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm actually heading up tomorrow to do some pre-work.
Yeah.
Designing and decor and walkthroughs and sound and lights. We work actually on the project really all year long. So
How many people?
throughout the whole weekend, we get around 15,000 girls.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing. That's where the lesbians are.
Exactly.
Totally where they're at, right?
It's going.
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, our Saturday pool party is 3,000 girls.
Wow.
Saturday, and then thousands. I know the boys are not. It's funny.
That's amazing.
The boys
Yeah.
stop by our Saturday pool party and they're like, wow, this was like better than the boys party.
It sounds like it.
No
yeah.
idea.
Well, I remember being enraptured by Fay What's raves about Girls in Wonderland last year. I mean, she just couldn't stop talking about it. Our sisters know how to have a good time. And looking at that schedule, I think a good time is guaranteed.
We do we do walk in the footsteps of the boys that have created these big circuit parties. I mean, that's really how the festival, Girls in Wonderland specifically, was created. We were there on vacation. That gay Disney program had already been going on for about 10 years, or 8 years. We were there visiting, but we had already been doing Aqua Girl and some parties in Miami, so we were kind of known. And we're there at Disney World with our red shirt and going on rides. And girls kept coming up to us and they're like, oh my God, are you guys doing a party here? And we realized that there were all these huge, back then you had Johnny Chisholm and Jeffrey Sanker and Mark Baker, you had all these big promoters doing these huge events, but there wasn't anything for women. And it was like one of those epiphany moments. We had like this light bulb moment. We said, we should do a party here. So that's really kind of how it started, really following in the footsteps of the men's and the circuit parties that have been happening for many years. Think back to the Saint in New York and all that. But we love creating a safe space for our community, and we love partying with purpose. We're focusing this year on mental health and on getting out the vote. In fact,
amazing.
Nadine was just texting me on the way over here from Equality Florida. We're working on absentee ballots, getting out the vote. Please make sure you register to vote. And please make sure, even if you signed up for absentee last year, Ron DeSantis has changed the law, so you have to re-sign up every year. So please go out and sign up to be an absentee voter. We need to make sure everybody's out sharing, getting knowledge on what to vote for, and making sure your vote counts.
No, Alison, this is great. And I love the notion that this is, you're partying with a purpose. So it's about understanding mental health, but then I love the fact that you're spreading the word about voting. The voting is our word, right? It's our ability to be able to change what's happening here in Florida. So if we don't vote, we can't complain, right, about what this governor is doing. So we must be a part of the political system. So we're glad that you're doing it. We're glad that we're seeing women events, right? Because we're too often here, we're reporting on, the boy events, the circuit parties. And so it's absolutely amazing to be reporting on women events.
Well, thank you for
Greg?
having us.
Next, we're going to queer up the USA View. Newspaper publishes hilarious list on how to spot gay men and lesbians. They were not joking. A Malaysian newspaper faces backlash for publishing guidelines on identifying gay and lesbian individuals. In Malaysia, homosexuality is illegal and carries severe penalties, including lengthy prison sentences, caning, fines, and deportation for foreigners. The newspaper, named Sinar Harian, provided bullet points to help readers identify gay men and lesbians. It claimed that gay men often have beards, wear branded clothes, and visit the gym not for exercise, but to admire other men. The article also suggested that gay men's eyes light up at the sight of attractive men, while lesbians can be identified by behaviors such as hugging, holding hands, and speaking negatively about men. Malaysian YouTuber Arvind Kumar criticized the publication. He also mentioned knowing many priests and religious people who keep beards. He asks if the government calls them gay now. But LGBTQ plus hatred is not new from Malaysian people. Human rights organizations label Malaysia as highly anti-LGBTQ plus. The Global Trans Rights Index ranks Malaysia as the second most anti-trans nation A 2013 poll revealed 86% disapproval of homosexuality in Malaysia. Last year itself, 2 members of the British rock band, the 1975, shared a kiss on stage during a music festival in Malaysia, and this led to the cancellation of the rest of the event. While neighboring Thailand is making astonishing progress in LGBTQ+ rights, this small Southeast Asian country has a long way to go. Well, congratulations to Malaysia for putting the Malays in journalism. Homosexuality shouldn't be illegal or carry severe penalties. Stupidity, hate, and ignorance should be illegal and carry severe penalties. And also, by the way, the guys from the 1975, they're straight guys. The straight guys in this band, and they did it to make the point, and bravo to them.
Yeah, to your point about ignorance, I mean, guys who wear beards, they're branded, they go to the gym and look at other guys. Women who are lesbians are talking bad about men, or they're holding hands and hug. Come on, like, it's just, I mean, what do we come to, you know? I mean, I think about, I lived in Italy and traveled around the world, and for some cultures, like holding hands with 2 men is totally fine, or like hugging people. Like, I mean, I just find this to be so ignorant, so misguided, and so backwards, quite frankly, in terms of where we're at. It's 21st century, and you know, we're supposed to be making progress, and yet this is taking, you know, Malaysia back. And you know, poor judgment on them, because you know, gay folks we have so much discretionary income. We love to travel, and this is just going to have a backlash of people not wanting to travel.
Yeah, they're going to lose out on those dollars for sure, and Thailand is going to benefit.
Thailand's going to benefit because they've made tremendous progress.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Peter.
All right. Next, let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Miami Film Festival celebrates 12 LGBTQ+ films April 5th through the 14th. Miami-Dade College's renowned Miami Film Festival, marking its 41st year, is set for April 5th through the 14th, 2024. It features Q&A sessions with stars like Heather Graham, Allison Brie, Hector Medina, and Danny Pinto. Opening night premieres Josh Margolin's action comedy Thelma. This year, the festival proudly presents 12 feature and documentary films exploring LGBTQ+ theme and experiences, each offering a unique perspective. Highlighting the lineup is the North American premiere of Ladylike, a touching documentary following Lady Camden's journey from RuPaul's Drag Race to confronting her past trauma. Another notable film includes Fallen Fruit, The Queen of My Dreams, Vera and the Pleasure of Other, All the Silence, The Shadow of the Sun, Days of Happiness, Saltwater, Toll, Happy Clothes, a film about Patricia Field, George Durow, New Orleans artist, and Merchant Ivory. Not only this, the festival will award $100,000 across 11 cash prizes. Actress Molly Ringwald, I love her, will receive the Variety Creative Vanguard Award, while Tom Hiddleston will be honored with the Variety Virtuoso Award. The closing film will be Rosalie. For further details and tickets, visit MiamiFilmFestival.com.
Well, I would say congratulations to Molly Ringwald, who late in her career has kind of become a presence. I don't know if you've noticed in queer-themed fare. She was in Tales of the City, the revival, and she was also in Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Plus, that lucky girl got to kiss Michael Schofling in 16 Candles. But anyway, yes. So that's great for her.
Movie of all time.
I love that movie, 16 Candles.
I love it. Sounds like a really incredible lineup. I've been a supporter and friend of the festival for years, and sounds like a great, as Jackie is, that's when I see you really, is at the festival.
True.
I mean, incredible lineup, and the fact that Molly and Tom are going to be there and receiving these awards, amazing. Really,
I wanted
really
to get my
exciting.
film in that festival, but I missed the deadline.
Next time.
The next time.
Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale's coming up. And
It was already in the Fort Lauderdale one, and Outshine.
Okay.
Oh, really? Great. You know, what I love about it too is the fact that there's so many prizes as well. They're giving away over $100,000 to these folks who, you know, I'm no artist, but I'm a starving entrepreneur who like have given my resources to start different adventures, and I know what it's like to like put all in a project, and to get potential rewards where it's great.
Well, that's the worst part about being a filmmaker,
Right.
is having to raise the money,
Raise the resources.
It is
right,
not
absolutely.
easy. Everybody's asking for money these days.
Absolutely.
Everybody's asking for money. So
So
it's
this is
really
great.
difficult.
It's a great opportunity, great lineup. Hopefully we'll see you there.
That's my job, to ask for money. Ask me what my instrument is.
What's your instrument?
The cash register.
I actually like that.
Cha-ching.
That's good.
My
So
job.
That's my job too. Any ED of an organization, a nonprofit, money, 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 money. Now, let's queer up lesbian culture. The out lesbian CEO of South Florida Symphony Orchestra leads classical music to new heights. Jacqueline Lorber, the CEO and president of the South Florida Symphony Orchestra, is a trailblazing figure in the classical music world. Renowned for her dynamic leadership and fundraising prowess, she has propelled the symphony to unprecedented success, overseeing its growth to over 50 concerts and events annually with a $2 million annual budget. Her journey to the helm of the South Florida Symphony Orchestra began in 2009 at the GLBX event, where she met her now wife, Sabrina, her spouse, and the orchestra's music director. Since then, their partnership has transformed the symphony, forging deep connections with the community and expanding its reach to venues like the Parker and the New World Center in Miami Beach. Under Jacqueline's guidance, the South Florida Symphony Orchestra has also championed inclusivity, creating initiatives like the LGBTQ-centric Out with the Symphony group in collaboration with the Pride Center. Her contributions to the arts have been recognized widely. Beyond this work, Jacqueline has been a driving force behind initiatives like Cultural Cares, which raises funds for disaster relief efforts. Her impact extends beyond the realm of music, as evidenced by her role as a trustee of the City of Pompano Beach Chamber of Commerce. Through her strategic vision and dedication, Jacqueline Lorber has cemented the South Florida Symphony Orchestra's place as a cornerstone of South Florida's cultural landscape. And we are very thrilled that Jacqueline is here this evening as an anchor at Queer News Tonight.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, Jacqueline. Oh my God.
Brava. Brava.
You're such a legend here in South Florida, everything that you've been able to accomplish. So tell us, how did you do it? How did you take it to where it's at today?
Well, I never thought that I'd be the CEO and the president of a symphony when I got here. Actually, as of today, 53 years ago. That's come a long way, baby. Sabrina met me. I had been involved with different business ventures, entrepreneurial ventures. I had a bus company. I raised money. I raised about $50 million now for nonprofits here in South Florida. Going back to the Ranch Room 27 years ago that I just visited 2 weekends ago, to the establishing of South Beach as a historic district with the original Miami Design Preservation League. My roots are really deep. I have a son that has diabetes, so I helped build the Diabetes Research Institute, and when that all was done, I had to get him to his activities. I started a bus company. I sold it. I came back. I got introduced to Sabrina, and now she hired me. I'm going in my 15th season. She told me to run. I was overqualified. I kept saying, I can do this. I can do this. And she says, no, I know you can do this, but you should run. Because really here in South Florida, it is up to the individuals to support the arts. It is not supported by corporations. It's in Broward, we're blessed to have a culture division that is behind us, but otherwise it's very, very slim in terms of dollars. And so it's really 96% of the fundraising is through individuals' participation, their personal foundations, and their donor-directed gifts in organizations. Maybe they have their funds at our fund or the Community Foundation of Broward, the Florida Keys, the one in Miami, the Miami Foundation. But mostly it's individual people that we have relationships with that invest. And I always say, our real challenge, and it's not just ours, it's the opera, it's the ballet, none of us have a venue. So we are guests in these venues. And people think because we're at the venue, that the venue is paying for us to be there. They do not realize that we raise all of the funds to be there. And with the exception of some co-production, that is the case. And so it's really a big challenge to do. And we're the only organization in 3 counties. We are here in Fort Lauderdale, in Miami, and in the Keys, where Sabrina started the Symphony 27 years ago.
I have a question to ask you. It's kind of selfish, but with all the fundraising that you've done, what would be your advice on, let's say, I don't know, pulling something out of the top of my head, filmmakers? What would you suggest?
Glad you asked that question.
What's the best way for like filmmakers to raise money for their projects?
So we just did that for our concert last January that happened at the New World Center. We were already doing the work of a particular piece of music called Aklawaha, The Tales My Father Told Me by John Gotch. And the Florida Defenders of the Environment heard that we were going to be doing this concert, and they approached us, and lo and behold, we had just weeks to put together the dollars to record that, and it is now going to be in the Fort Lauderdale International Film Festival in November.
Is it part of a certain movie? Is it a soundtrack to a movie?
We created a documentary of that work with Sabrina conducting the orchestra at the New World Center, and we've just been told that we're going to be included in the film festival. So it was really going to people that care about us, and I always say, for us, if you're involved with our organization, it's because you love the music and you love us.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a building to put your name up on. We can put your name and a QR code in a program book, but it's really about the art form and the people that are involved with it, our commitment to education. We used to serve a couple thousand kids a year. Now we serve 30,000 kids a year.
Wow.
And so it's a big impact. It's all for free. I have to raise all the funds for that. So it's all about the people and where their interests lie and who we can bring together for the things that we do. So people say, oh, you're always something, you're always somewhere, we see you all the time. It is that is the secret in the sauce, is just being part of the community for real. Like really doing good, really raising money, really having the events that you do with a cause. I mean, we've known each other since I came out in 99, I think it was.
Yes, that's my first known each other 25 years.
That's really, what we do is with intention.
We both started when we were like 15.
Of course. So tell me, a typical performance, you get, 50 visitors, 50 guests? How many people do you get?
For the orchestra?
The orchestra.
Oh, well, our Beethoven 9 had over 200 people on the stage, so we had the full chorus and the orchestra. The orchestra tends to be about 85 people that perform, and when we perform, we're on tour. Right. So to answer your question, this is the craziness of January. January, we had the rehearsals for 3 rehearsals. Then we had the performance at the Parker. The next morning, Thursday morning, we were back at the Parker for 2 sets of 1,000 children each for our education program. Thursday night, we went to Miami and did the concert. Friday, we drove to the Keys. Saturday, we had a memorial and the concert in the Keys. Sunday morning, we did a fundraiser on a boat. Monday, we did 1,000 children in Key West High School. For the elementary school kids, bussed in, comp trained in, every kind of way that you can imagine, pack up the show, and then go to marathon. That is a typical week in the Symphony.
Wow.
Where do you get all that energy? Like, I complain when I have to go get the mail, for God's sake.
So, I was wondering, what kind of an impact do you think the 2022 Kate Blanchett movie Tar had on lesbians and classical music?
Well, I surely wish that they had done the story on the men. That is really a story that happens within the world of classical music, and it really doesn't happen in the world of women. So I think they might not have done that in the way that I would have liked to see it. And so I think really, as with Maestro, I think that the focus really needs to be a lot more about the music, truthfully, and not the dysfunction of that
personalities. Yeah,
yes.
Right.
But speaking of that, next season we receive the permission from the Bernstein Foundation to present his version of Candide, and we are talking with Jamie about having her with us, and we will bring that to all 3 communities. So we're very excited about that.
It's amazing work, and you've done a great job. You're pretty iconic in this community here and everything that you've done. And for me, selfishly, I want you to come fundraise for Pride Lines.
I got her first.
Come on, we can share her. I mean, come on.
We want you guys wrestle for it.
We will wrestle. Yeah, right.
All right. And that is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
Oh wait, is that me?
It's you,
I'm Fast forwarding. Hold on. Okay. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening on Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Dr. Edward Summers, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Seed Food and Wine Festival and Girls in Wonderland, Alison Burgos, Peter Sexy, Bisuito, Peter Bisuito, Jacqueline Lorber, Gregg Shapiro. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you good night.
Good night.